Welcome to Healthy Wealthy Academy. Learn how to be healthy, wealthy, and get happiness with KOKOSHUNGSAN. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell for the latest updates. If you like it, please like, share it, and leave comments. Thanks for your support and for helping us make the world a better place. All about crochet. Chapter 1. About crochet. To set crochet apart from the rest of the sewing crowd, we'll make some distinctions. Crocheting is a type of lace needlework that involves interlocking loops of a single thread, using a hooked needle. Knitting is looping yarn or thread together by hand, with long needles or by machinery which forms similar interlocking loops. Sewing is working with a needle and thread to fasten stitches. Quilting is stitching with lines or patterns through layers of cloth. It is usually employed in making bed covers and wall decorations. Embroidering is making raised and ornamental designs on cloth, leather, etc. with the use of a needle. How crochet further stands out from these other forms will become apparent, as we discuss its dynamics for producing fabric and its numerous byproducts. History of crochet. A writer who tried to trace the history of crochet came to the conclusion that there is no real evidence to show the existence of crochet before the 19th century. Knitting, she said, preceded crochet by at least 4 centuries. Why crochet did not show up until the 19th century could probably be explained by the fact that people at the time preferred more economical fabric creating techniques. Crochet uses an enormous amount of thread to produce pieces of fabric which were much more economically produced by the ancient techniques of netting, sprang, knalbinding or knitting. It was while Ireland was developing its lace industry that the US took up crocheting. It soon became a household activity that was loved by many American settlers. While sewing was considered a function, crochet was entertainment. When America went to World War II in 1941, there was no such thing as time and innovation for fashion, so the idea was to make it short and sweet. Crochet was therefore saved for special things like a touch of lace, a scarf or a friendly. When the war ended, crochet was back in the limelight, and women turned it into a hobby to create luxuries they desired. Tablecloths, edgings for pillowcases, handkerchiefs and towels. After the 1960s, crochet was no longer a domesticated activity. The generations that followed transformed the craft into something more ambitious and non-traditional. All of a sudden, all kinds of finished fabrics were arriving at the scene, manifestations of the innovation fever that characterized the wealthy period that the U.S. was experiencing. Since this time, 21st-century crochet has had a different face, a new look. New types of hooks were born, and yarns multiplied in variety. To take up crochet, it is important to know the basics which cover commonly used abbreviations, stitches, kinds of hooks, kinds of yarns. Knowing the basics will enable you to come up with simple projects for you and your home. In fact, there are multiple projects you can create just by knowing the basics. However, as you gain more confidence, chances are you'll want to learn advanced techniques so you can diversify your project portfolio. Who knows, you may want to make a living out of crochet. Your finished products will be selling so quickly that your hands and fingers will be feverishly moving about just to keep up with demand. Before we go into the basic stitches, we'll mention the foundation chain, a key term in crocheting. Just as a house needs a solid foundation, crocheting needs a foundation as well. The foundation chain is defined as a cross-stitched row that serves as the base of your crocheting. It holds all your stitches and all the succeeding rows you will make. Click links below to learn more. KOKOSHUNGSAN pays you to have fun. Kakashungsan.net